Paul, final day of the transfer window. Might as well ask, are we in for a pizza late night?
No, no, we're not. No, it's going to be a quiet day. We haven't had. I've made it quite clear that we are at our limit on what we can do, and I've got to say, with the work that we've done so far in this window, I'm pleased with the balance of the squad. It's the first window that we can actually affect the sort of medium and long term change that we want to happen here. So we crack on. I think we've had a decent start. Been disappointed to have picked up the injuries we've had, as all managers are, and hopefully we'll get them all back out fit again and give us, or as many of them out back fit as we can, and give us some real selection headaches.
On the media side of it, we've been here before where we've had this conversation and then something happens the other way where a bid comes in. Are you in a position now where if that happened now at this late stage, it'd be a case of no, we're done, forget it?
To be honest with you, I was in that position before. I mean, I've said to you and to the other local media people that we have had inquiries, but my view is, well, no, I don't want them to go. So any inquiry that I have had, it's not for a player I want to leave the club, so I've said no to it. I'm put under absolutely no pressure by the board, by Nigel Clibbins, to be getting rid of players to balance books. It's nothing like that. So hopefully we don't receive any calls. I'm really not expecting. I mean, Greg Abbott's in today for the just in case scenario, and we have players in mind that if we get another inquiry for anybody we have had a call about, we've got an option to replace them. But that's not because I want it to happen. That's just trying to be prepared for something that could happen. Who knows? As I say, I'm sat here middle of the afternoon on deadline day, and I haven't had any phone calls today. If somebody suddenly has a change of heart and needs to do something, we'll deal with that when it comes. But I can assure you I won't be sitting next to my phone until the deadline passes and getting takeaway food sent in to me to keep me going. I'll be going home once I've finished my work and getting ready for tomorrow.
You are very much a manager that takes things in your stride, but in terms of the transfer window, I suppose not so much this one because it opens at the end of May or whenever, and it's you've got months to do business. But the January transfer window in particular, is this fair on lower league clubs? Because it does seem to distort the market when it's hard enough as it is.
Do you know something? I don't even think if it's fair or not. It's just the rules. You just have to get on with it. It's a daft one because I don't even know when transfer windows came into play at this level. I didn't see the point in it, and we're all clubs at this level. We're all working to a really tight budget. So my philosophy: every pound's a prisoner, and you have to look after every pound. You've got to spend it really wisely. So all clubs are in that position, and there's all sorts of financial challenges going on for clubs. And we tell everybody that they have to have a group of players in place to deal with the next however many games it is till the start of January, when we don't know what scenario could come. So I'm in a position where when we get the likes of Morgan Feeney back, Huntington's fit, Ryan Edmondson back, Taylor Charters is fit, Ben Barkley hopefully soon, Toby Show Silver soon, Scotty Simmons is going to be looking at December, Joel Senior maybe November, Josh Dixon February next year, Brennan Dickinson May next year. I hope I've not missed anybody, but that's just because I'm 56 and my memory's going. But I've tried to go through, and when we get everybody fit, we've got a number of players who are not going to be playing, not going to be able to be selected. So I've got a group of players who I have to continue to pay, but I know I've got surplus to what's going to start or what's going to be involved in the 18. And it's really daft that I've got to spend all this money to have these players. The system that was there before, where you could take a loan signing as an emergency player for a month, and then you get your own player fit who's contracted, that worked. And we've had to go back to this thing where we have to outlay money on players who the chances are they ain't going to play every game. And I just think it's a bit daft. So if we are talking about the January window, it's a difficult one, really difficult. I know from what I've been told last January that Keith tried to bring a number of players in and it didn't happen, and you end up going frantically on the last day. I really hope we're not in that position. I want my idea of having a recruitment plan in place and bringing Greg in was that we have a plan to what we want to do. Now things change. You know, you pick up an injury and you lose a player long term, or you get a bid for a player and somebody leaves in January. Then you have to then react. But I hope we have an idea in place of what might be coming about, and also who we would want to come in to make the squad better. And that's how we would like this to happen. And I've said it before, I hope I'm not being delusional and a bit deluded about it. I'm planning that I'm going to be here for a long time, so I want to know what I'm going to be doing in each window. So not only am I thinking, right, this is where we are now after our summer window, I want an idea of what I might have to do in January. I want that over the next few weeks so I can start thinking ahead. And then I've also got half an eye on next summer as where we are in terms of who's out of contract, who has an option on the contract that we can renew them, all of these different things, because we have to be, it's not a case of, oh wow, didn't expect that to happen, I better just panic and do something. We have to have a bit of a plan in place, and I hope I'm here long enough to see the plan through.
You've nicked my next question there, because with Greg here, with Jacob, the work he does with the rest of the staff, September to December, this short-term plan must be assessing what you've got so you can move again, not just January, but looking ahead to the summer.
Yeah, without a doubt, that's what it has to be. We have to get a plan in place so that we do know what we're doing. You know, I'm not saying we're going to get all the decisions right. And something I said to the players this morning, I don't expect you to get every decision right. We have to try and get most of them right, or as many as possible right. And that's the same in the recruitment side of it. We have to try and get as many right. So we have to do some checks into them. And there's no point me having an idea in my mind. I want to bring Joe Bloggs in January, who lives down in London, and I push and push and push. I get loads of work done on it, loads of preparation. Then suddenly in January we speak to Mr. Bloggs, and he says, I'm never going to come and live in Carlisle. So we need to have an idea about what we're doing. So we'll do our work, we'll do our planning, we'll get character references, we'll find out whether the player is interested or not, and that's how we'll do it. And hopefully, as I say, we'll get as many right as we possibly can.
You've